Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw. What do you have in store for me now?
Oh God! Oh my God! That is an intense picture. I mean, they're all intense if we're gonna be real about it. But yeah.
Okay. So let me describe this. It's a photo head-on of
She's
is that
Bosnian. I think her
okay?
name is Shayla Kamerlic. I'm not 100% sure
Okay.
about the last name. I don't want to make anybody upset. Yeah.
It's in black. It's black and white. It's a
Yeah.
really nice kind of portrait. She's just looking very neutral expression right into the camera. She's wearing a white sort of tank top of sorts, but written across the front in like
I
a
know.
Sharpie or whatever. It says no teeth, a mustache, smell, which is spelled misspelled, but smell like
Spelled
shit.
wrong. Yeah.
And then Bosnian girl exclamation point.
Yeah. Terrible. Yeah.
So tell what is the story behind here?
So Srebrenica, the Srebrenica massacre of 8,372 men and boys. Apparently, this was written, this text, on a wall at Srebrenica. Some women were raped there, and the United Nations, excuse my language, they did jack shit. The United Nations did jack shit. I really want to emphasize that. And the Dutch, like with their blue, helmets, they allowed it to happen. They allowed people to get killed. I'm not gonna spare them anything because they didn't help out a lot of people there, and yeah, that was written on the walls at Srebrenica, and I wrote about this experience, this text in one of my books. And the book is called Justice for Bosnia and Herzegovina. And it specifically has like two songs dedicated to Srebrenica and Sarajevo, because those were the sites of like massive murder. And it's sickening. It's sickening. If you want, I don't know how much time you have, I can read Mothers of Srebrenica from my book, and it explains this picture, and I'm not gonna like go into like too much detail, don't worry. But what angers me is, for example, when I was a student in high school, the section on Bosnia, the Bosnian War, we just skipped over it like it didn't mean anything to anyone. Literally, the high school administration was like, yeah, it's not that important. I'm like, excuse me, it's not important. What the hell are you talking about? It's not important. It's a war, damn it, And it's a recent war as well. Like when I graduated from high school, it was 2008. I mean, it's close. It's
right.
When I started high school, it was 2004. What are you talking about? Like, the Bosnian genocide ended in 95. I mean, that was like, I would say 95, 96. That it's not, it wasn't quite, you know what I mean? It wasn't quite finished. But that is not a long period of time. And yeah, and also I want to say, Hillary Clinton, I want to emphasize this. I think this is important to say. I can't stand that woman, Hillary Clinton. I wouldn't even mind if she heard, what I'm saying, because, and this is a fact, she blatantly lied that she was in Bosnia during the time of like shooting. That was a lie. She went to visit Bosnia after the war ended, not during the war. So I mean, she is a liar, but I mean, America had involvement in the Bosnian War, to a great degree. And all of that should have been mentioned in the book. People need to know about political leaders, people, especially students. They need to learn critical thinking. They need to learn about the world around them. They need to understand how the world works. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, it's like we're conditioning. I mean, when you just accept everything at face value, it's like you're conditioning sheep that are asleep. Maybe that doesn't
Mm.
sound nice, but it is what it is, right? So
Um,
at face value, I don't accept things at face value.
okay, so listening to you now,
Yeah.
because I think on the one hand there's your direct experience, right, which
Yeah.
you live, which lives inside you
Oh yeah.
as a very raw kind of memory, and it's very present and it's
Mm,
very real, right?
very.
So one of the people, okay, so I'm going to reference another person who was on the podcast.
Mm,
She said that like she's a sort of coach and a leader in terms
mm,
of helping mostly women, and also in terms of like executive kind of consulting.
mm,
And one of the things she said, which was I thought was fascinating, was that what we have in human beings, what
mm,
our superpower is our attention.
mm,
Like that really is our superpower. Like where we put our attention is what we can influence, right? So, of course, because of your family history
mm,
and your direct experience, your attention is very much taken over by, not taken over, but is on your own history. And but then when you go to the states, it kind of feels like a betrayal that you're in
mm,
the classroom and somehow they just skip over this as a kind of like, well, it wasn't important, because to people it wasn't real in the way that, for example, somebody who has nothing to ever do with Vietnam, it wouldn't have affected them personally. So in terms of the slices of attention that we have and that a teacher has for
mm,
like 50 minutes
mm,
a day in a classroom or whatever in that particular subject, they have to split the attention and make those decisions, right? Which is,
mm,
I'm not trying to defend them, but
mm,
it's kind of like, in a way, that was your opportunity to kind of make it real for people in the classroom, because say, hey guys, like, let me make it real for you. And
yeah.
then your superpower was, well, actually, with your book, is what you've done is you've put people's attention onto these important experiences and stories and the realities that may have been forgotten, but which are very much real to you, right?
Yeah.
And to so many people. Okay, so how do we go from there into something that is actually inspirational to get people motivated to go learn about the book, to go learn about what happened, which is still very present and very, as you said, like, for all we know, that conflict is still very real and alive and well, even if bullets aren't being shot. So
Exactly.
how do we make it real for people to go out there and find you and find your book?
Well, I think critical thinking is important. It doesn't matter
Hmm.
where you live, it doesn't matter what age you are, it doesn't matter what income level you have. None of that matters really. I think critical thinking is important. I think that it's important to question things, to develop your own opinion, to
Yeah.
not be manipulated by somebody in power who's telling you what to think, how to think, and telling you what direction to go essentially. So figure out like why this is happening, right? I think that's essential for mm, living with integrity. So
Okay.
in terms of like why I think people should listen, or listen to things I wrote, or pay attention. I don't like saying that, listen to things I wrote. At least like give me some piece of their attention, some of their time,
Hmm.
is because I would say for my age, I'm 32 years old. I think I have more wisdom than age 32, or what for how many years I've been on the planet. And that has to do with questioning things, because you can really like jump ahead in terms of knowledge if you do that,
Right.
um
Right.
I find it very sad, and that depending on what age you are, you just like sometimes people discard your knowledge, your ideas, and put you in a box that you didn't ask to be put in the first place, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
just,
Mm-hmm.
it's ageism, right? I don't think that's okay. I think when you're a real intellectual, you have more of a broad scope. I'm not sure if I'm
Sure.
answering your question though. I want I
Yeah, I think we're just riffing. We're just talking. We're just like, I'm
yeah,
getting to know you. And
yeah,
as I'm speaking to you, I have this image, a stark image of this woman looking at. Well, I've got you looking at me, but then I've got this image that you provided where it says no teeth, a mustache, smells like shit, Bosnian girl.
yeah,
Um, okay, critical thinking, being inspired, being motivated.
yeah.
Um, like, how do we make every second count?
I don't think we should make like every second count, because that will like lead to burnout, like, for real.
Sometimes sleeping is what you need to do for sure.
Yeah, to make every second count. But
Yep.
let me think. Well, okay. I really believe that it's important to discover what talents you have,
Sure.
to discover like what you want. I mean, like, if you go through life not knowing what you want, oh my God, may God help you with that.
Mm, mm,
I think that's a nightmare. Like, just going through life not knowing what you want. I've never been like that. I always had some goal, some
mm.
focus. I've always been like that my whole life. I don't know. It's just a part of my personality, I
Sure.
suppose. But goals are important. A strategy for how to achieve your goals is important. Skill. What skills do you have?
Mm-hmm.
Taking care of your health and not giving a damn about critics. Just being like, unless you have something to learn from that, just like, go like this. I don't know if people can hear that or
People, yeah,
see
people
it.
cannot see. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're doing something with
Just,
your fingers. You're
just,
snapping, or you're
just,
flicking.
just, I'm flicking. Just kick that stuff to the side. Who cares, really?
Nice,
Because
nice.
when, yeah, thank you. Because when the years pass, nobody's gonna remember it. You're gonna be worried about, something somebody said. Who gives a damn, honestly?
Sure,
So,
sure.
yeah, I quickly just throw it to the side, very, very quickly, like light years, kind of quickly. So.
Nice, Ida. Well, Ida, like, thank you very much. Again, the way I say your last name is
Mandic, Mandic. So
Mandic.
my
Mandic.
name is Aida Mandic. It kind
Right.
of sounds like kind of like German. Like, it's
Mm.
not man, it's man.
Mandic. Okay.
Mandic. Yeah, it sounds
Okay.
so like it's
Okay.
kind of cool. Yeah, it's
No, it's
weird, I
totally
guess. Yeah,
cool. It's
yeah.
totally cool. Ida,
Thank you.
thank you so much. This has been really, it's been a pretty intense morning. It's not even 9 o'clock in the
Yeah,
morning for me. Wow, this is
yeah.
like,
Like, damn, I know, right? Yeah,
no, but I thank you because it was very, like, I learned a lot and I
yeah.
totally value it. I totally appreciate it.
Thank you.
And you've written 100 books. Like, amazing.
Over 100. Hair flip, yeah. I gotta do a hair flip.
And so the thing I remember, I guess the main lesson I'll remember is move to Michigan. But that's how you get things done.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Thank you so
definitely.
much.
Thank you.
So, is life really a gift? Really? Can you make every second count? That's the whole point of the podcast. So, if you like what you've seen and you're inspired, because that really is my mission, then please give it a like, subscribe, and share.
Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting.